Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cadet Second Class Jack Irwin. Welcome to the 28th Annual National Character and Leadership Symposium. It is my privilege to welcome to you our guest speaker, Mr. Nick Scott. At the age of 16, Nick was an ordinary teenager whose dreams revolved around girls and football, when a near-fatal accident changed his life forever. After the accident, Nick became overweight, discouraged, and lost, but somehow found the determination, mindset, and personal strength to transform his life from a debilitating tragedy into a personal triumph. This has included becoming a professional wheelchair bodybuilder, a professional wheelchair ballroom dancer, a two-time World Powerlifting Champion, an award-winning actor, a published author, and a real estate investor. Mr. Scott uses his enthusiasm, vision, conviction, abilities, life experience, and his perspective to transform the lives of thousands of individuals, from professional athletes to senior executives. Nick inspires others to break through barriers to new levels of peak performance and success. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present to you Mr. Nick Scott.
You know what, Jack, that was an amazing introduction. But, a lot of you guys are wondering, you hear about the professional wheelchair bodybuilder, ballroom dancing, and how does it go hand in hand? And it's an honor to be part of the 2021, this conference. But a lot of you are wondering, like, how do you become something? And what's the key factor and never give up? And it goes hand in hand with the world ethos, because it's a mindset, it's a perspective, it's how you overcome things and when you're going through. Because when Jack was saying I'm a professional, wheelchair bodybuilder, that's not the same as if you actually see that I'm a wheelchair bodybuilder. One second, get this. Here's the slide. One second. There we go. There we go. One second. And there. So I'm a professional wheelchair bodybuilder. I'm the best wheelchair bodybuilder, but in 2015, I retired to work for this man. It's like, and how do you do this? What's the mindset of never giving up and striving something more? It's because it's the why factor. Why do you do what you do? Because you guys chose to do this. And to be able to serve your country, I wanted to serve people, to do more, to do bigger things. But in 2015, I retired as the best to work for Arnold Schwarzenegger, because my vision was to help disabled athletes, to put them on the biggest stage. This is Arnold Classic stage, because this was their dream. And in order for me to make their dreams happen, I had to give up my dream, which is to be like the Arnold of wheelchair bodybuilding. But it's up to them. You only can do so much, but that's me and a different perspective, a mindset. It's never giving up, because now they're on the platform, the same platform all over the world as this other professional sports. So, but in order to do that, I have them travel all over the world from Toronto. A lot of them are thinking, it's very difficult to travel internationally. But I tell them, if I can do it, you can do it too. Because as a world ethos, you got to lead by example. What does that mean? You got to do it, which you guys are all doing it. And that's the key. That's the key of the mindset, because it gets struggles. Because a lot of people struggle because they wonder, like, if they make the right decisions. But the only way you're ever going to pursue that and go through is if you go through it firsthand. So when I tell these guys I'm going to go do these shows all over the world, I'm there as well. I'm going to fly there. I'm not just going to tell them to go there themselves. I fly there. But Toronto is just above America. I'm talking about going global. So this is me saying we need to go to different countries like Africa. Been to Africa. It may have took 40 hours to get there, but I got the job done, no matter what it took. Maybe I flew over to, the UK, then stayed there for like all day to fly out to Johannesburg, but it didn't matter because it's a mindset. It's a mindset. And it's up to you to say, why are you doing it? What's the why factor? Why are you guys all doing it? I do it because I want to do something bigger, fulfill a purpose. It's a why factor, because their why factor is one day they want to be Arnold, be like Arnold, but not just that, to meet him, as you can see. Because where people, it's very difficult to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's one text message away. And why? Because I gave up my career to lead by example. And that's what people really can relate to. So as you all listen to me now, it's about understanding that if I can do it, you can do it too. Because this isn't just say, oh, this is amazing, but it's about moving forward. So this is the Olympia. This is where Arnold Schwarzenegger becomes 7-time Mr. Olympia. So, but they never had it for wheelchair bodybuilding, but I made it happen. It may took me over 15 years, but I got the job done. Nobody cares about how hard it is. Nobody cares about what you go through. All people care is you get the job done. And that's what War Ethos is all about. And that's what I'm all about, because it's never give up. But the never give up is an easy saying, but people give up easy if they don't have a why. Why do you do? And we're going to get to that in a second. But you guys are looking at me, you think it's easy, but that's me at 8th grade. So just like Jack was saying, my dreams were to be this big football star. And I wanted to be the guy to run down the football field, spike the football. That way the cheerleaders would be like, Nick, you're the man. If you can do it, anybody can. I wanted that. I wanted to be the popular guy. But that's what it is. But why? Why did I do it? Because growing up, we didn't have much. We grew up in a trailer, which there's nothing wrong with that. At times we barely had any food, no food. But then we didn't have electricity, water, but we went to the lake to take a shower in the public area. But it's okay, because I was blessed. Why am I blessed? Because I had the love of my mom and my dad, because they did as best they could. And so many people point their fingers at each other and other people and saying, you could have did more. But I don't point the finger at them or anybody. I point the finger at me and say, if I'm gonna do something about it. Don't point fingers at other people, because this is your life. If you want it, go do it, because you guys are doing it, because you're sitting there listening right now. But you got to stick to a game plan. So that's what I did. I had to be a football star. So I went to school, got my education, but I was a big goof. I like to hang with my friends. But then, it was always about being with people and lift the weights to get stronger for my team. But then life happens. That was August 17, 1998. I was in a car accident. So what happened was I was going to football practice. I was 16. It was 1 week before my junior year of high school. And as I got on the bridge, my left front tire blew out. It just popped, and it pulled me to the right. And I went to the right side of the bridge, and I didn't want to hit the bridge, so I pulled to the left. And when I went to the left, I saw a vehicle coming toward me. I saw the woman in the windshield. I didn't want to hit her or harm her, so I just pulled to the right. And again, I went back to the right side of the railing, and I didn't want to hit that, so I pulled to the left. My vehicle started to skid sideways like this, and I just got off the bridge. And that's when I was going to the ditch. The ditch wasn't deep. It was just a slight slant, but I knew I was going to hit. I didn't know I was going to crash. And all I could think about was to close my eyes, and I loosened my grip. And I said to God, I'm in your hands now, and I hit. And I felt my car going around in circles. And all I could hear was the glass shattering and the metal crushing. And the next thing I know, I opened my eyes. I was looking at the sky. I wasn't in pain. I was at peace. And nobody was around me. But all of a sudden, people started to appear by my feet and an officer by my side. Later, I found out I actually stopped breathing for a couple minutes, and I came back. That's why they appeared. But moving forward, they got an ambulance, went to the hospital, cut off all my clothes. I was naked. They put tubes down my nose, sucking all the stuff from my stomach, had x-rays, then life flighted. When I was in the helicopter, I passed out. I woke up a few days later with my mother by my side. And the doctor came in, and he bluntly told me that my football days were over and I would never walk out. And he turned his back and he walked out. And I just instantly broke down because my dream was over. And I hated who I was because my dream, everything was gone. So what's there for me? So I was talking to God. I was like, why? Why me? There's so many bad people in this world. Why? What did this happen to me? Why? Big question mark. And then I thought about suicide. And I hated who I was. So I thought about, how I could cut myself, how many pills I could swallow. But I didn't follow through with it. And it goes back to why. Why did I stop? And I stopped because I looked at my mom. Because I want to be a football star to make it for my mom. Like, I'm going to do anything to do it for my mom. So I stopped and said, instead of being pity me, how am I going to get out of this situation? So that's what I did. Did rehab, go back to school. Because my why factor is to make my mom proud, to do it for her, to do whatever it takes to get her a better life. The why factor, that's mine. Why do you guys do what you do? So went to college. After a year, after high school, I took a year off to do powerlifting, but then I went back to college. In the process of going to college, I did powerlifting competitions because I realized if I couldn't do anything, the one thing I could be is stronger than everybody. So I focused on being the biggest bench presser in school. I was weighing, eventually I became a 2-time world powerlifting champion. But going back to school, I hated who I was because I realized I couldn't do everything. And then my friends, they made fun of me. They put me down because now Nick's in the wheelchair. Nick can't go in the car because the wheelchair doesn't fit in the trunk. Nick can't go upstairs. So they put me down. They made fun of me. And I didn't understand. I'm named after my own grandfather, and he refers to me as the cripple boy. Some of my relatives told my mom to put me in a home to get rid of me. Why? I'm still the same person. They told her that you shouldn't have to deal with him. So depression sets in. But the scar, we all have scars. But this is because I wanted to be like everybody. Because in school, I just wanted to blend in. Because when I went to high school, the reason my car accident, my left front tire, and I rolled and I was ejected out of the car, my own car hit me in the back. And it broke my back and damaged my spine. I got titanium rods in my back like this and bolts like this. Because in school, we all want to become like everybody else. So we get accepted. So I didn't wear my seatbelt. And this is the price I pay in the wheelchair. But now they made fun of me. Because we all want to be accepted. We all want to be liked. We all want to be loved. Because some of you guys probably doing this stuff because you got a family member, a grandpa that you want to make proud, just like I want to make my mom proud. But now I feel disowned by so many people and so many friends, but you got to move forward. But you get depressed. So my weight went up to 300 pounds and I hated my life. I hated it. I didn't think there was anybody for me. And what about relationships? I look people walking with their hands. What's there for me? Who's going to date a guy in a wheelchair? I got depressed. One girl in a wheelchair, she told me about somebody, this action figure. You guys know Barbie? Barbie in the doll world. There's Ken's her boyfriend. Well, this girl in the wheelchair, she told me about Becky. And Becky is Barbie's best friend. If you look at the wheels, it's an action figure. We come an action figure. And this is mine because I got her off eBay. It's the real deal, but it's a perspective. And what she said, why would anybody want to be friends with Becky or date Becky when they could be around Barbie or have a Barbie? And I'm thinking, that's like me. It's like, why would anybody want to be like Nick in the wheelchair when they could be around Ken? So I got depressed. That's me. And that's a lot of you guys. But you guys hate your lives. At times you're thinking you're struggling. You're like, well, why are you doing this? Why? But why? Why are you doing this? But it's a big picture because life is about love. Life is about understanding. The only time you should look down on somebody if you're picking them up, because that's the key. And how do I know? I'm the best wheelchair bodybuilder in the world. I'm the best. Trust me, if this was like Pokemon, it'd be like, I choose you, Grizzly Bear. Bear Claw 5000. But I'm the best. The best. And what you guys got to realize is, why do you do what you do? I come from nothing, but I rose up because of my why factor. It's the mindset. It's the perspective. You got to go walk away with this and define, why do you do what you do? And mine's my mom. And it's been a rough time because now my mom is my everything. Moving forward, retired, the sports all over the world, put on pro shows, prize money, they're equal to all the other professional athletes. And why was that? It's to make my mom proud. So every time I came back, it's like, and she said, I love you. She only went to a couple of my shows because she was struggling. She has cancer herself for over 12 years. It's a rare cancer in the bone, which then produces in her blood and it goes throughout her body. So the reason why I moved from Kansas, because that's where I lived in 2008 most of my life, I ended up moving my mom, my dad, my brother, my uncle, all to Texas because it was for my mom. Because just like the word ethos, it's a mindset. You never leave somebody behind. And I'm not going to leave my family. My mom never gave up on me. I'm never giving up on my mom. That's the purpose. Because it's easy to give up if you don't have a reason. Because we all have a fire within us that burns naturally. But there is no fire if you do something because you don't want to. You guys have to want to. And you got to define why you do what you do to get the job done, no matter how tough it is. I've been lifting 25 years. It's not about if I enjoy it, it's about getting the job done. So moving fast forward, here I'm in Texas, 2008. My mom has cancer. It's getting better because now it goes from the cold to the warm to the heat. She sees less doctors. She's getting better. Bought a house, big backyard, fence is the dream, right? It's the dream. Everything comes. But what is the word ethos? It's February 6th. My mom fell. Well, she had tremors, which turned into seizures when I went into the emergency room. February 5th. And she had a hard time with her breathing. The seizures started messing out with her respiratory. They gave her shots and they said one more shot would stop her breathing. I said, don't get it. We got to find a way. Never give up. So then that's what we did. We gave her another shot. Not that shot. We gave her 2 shots. And the third shot she would have stopped breathing, put a ventilator in her throat. I said, no, we're not going to do that. Do whatever it takes. So we put her on her back, raised her blood pressure because then she's in pain, but the blood pressure regulates her blood pressure because her blood pressure without it was dropping. Then her body would shut down and she would pass away. Says, no, there's got to be a way. So we give her 1 bag. Each bag lasts five hours. We kept giving her bags. All 4 of us is now in the emergency room. My dad, my uncle, and my brother. We're standing there deciding what we're going to do about my mother. But we're keep fighting. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the 6th. And my mom's out. She's not saying anything. And I go over and I said, Mom, do you want to fight or do you want to let go? My mom opened her eyes and says, fight. She's like, we're fighting. She did the 2nd bag, the 3rd bag. That night, she was in so much pain because she eventually woke up. She was more receptive, but she was in pain. So give her pain medicine. But the pain medicine reacted and constricted the blood pressures, the blood vessels, and her legs wasn't getting the circulation. So then she told me, my father, my brother, my uncle that she wanted to let go. So my dad and I looked at us and 1:15, we put her in hospice, which means that's terminal ill. They said she had 24 hours to live, but we kept fighting. Sunday, we told them we wanted her to go home. So we went home on Monday. Then we had her for 17 days in hospice. But on Monday, 22nd at 9:50, my mom passed away. But you do what you got to do to get the job done. I didn't cancel this. I wanted to be on here with you guys. Where am I at? I'm in the house. I'm upstairs. And downstairs is all I go out the door and look down the stairs, and that's where my mother passed. But you got to have a mindset. You don't break. You get it done no matter what. Because you're serving your country and you got to get the job done because people are counting on you and you do what it takes to get the job done. So define your why factor, your purpose, your meaning, and you'll understand the bigger purpose and meaning in life. And that's the key. And people ask me if I go back to the day of my accident, would I go back and take it all back? And the answer is no. Because I was given a gift and that gift was a second chance at life. At least I gave my mom extra time. And you got to realize what are you grateful for? When's the last time you looked at somebody that did something for you to say thank you? What about the people that's in charge of you? Say thank you for guiding me. Be grateful because life is a choice. Either you can choose negative or choose positive. The choice is yours because there's no such thing as bad news or good news in the world. It's just news. It's up to you to find that news. And it's an honor to be here and talk to you guys at your 2021 conference for Warrior Ethos. And I'll be answering questions. I know I got deep, but I'm here. So back to you, Jack.